Hi everyone, I hope you enjoy this episode all about my favourite shirts and different shirt making inspiration. But before I get started, I wanted to let everyone know that we are having a special deluxe box, bespoke box this week on Thursday the 2nd of May, and that is our beautiful seasonal autumnal box, and the name is Rustic River. We have dreamt up this beautiful fictional autumnal place called Rustic River. We think that you're going to love the fabric. It is fabric godmother exclusive fabric, so you'll get 3 meters in the box. All of the goodies are listed over on the website. Head over and have a little look, and remember, these are limited numbers only. There's 2 colorways. There is Harvest colorway and Riverbank colorway. So we're not going to let you know what those colors are. We're going to leave it up to your imagination. And yeah, just a bit of a reminder here to let you all know that we're having an early box release. Normally it's the second week in May, second weekend in May I should say, and this week we're doing it for the first week in May. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Thursday night this time, 2nd of May Australian Eastern Standard Time. These beautiful boxes are going on sale. Hi everybody, it's Kristen here from the Dahlia Sewciety. I'm back with plenty of shirt making inspiration that I hope you're going to enjoy. As promised, this video was mentioned when I did my fabric new releases on Thursday, so I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, I'd love to hear in the comments after you watch this, what is your favorite shirt pattern, what you've had the most success with, or maybe it's just the shirt that you have worn most and felt most comfortable with. Now, shirt making for a beginner sewist can seem very daunting, and usually that has to do with preparing the collar and collar stand together. But with a lot of the patterns I've shown, or I'm going to show here today, the instructions are so fantastic. It can be broken down into little steps with really good instructions, good pics, sometimes even sew-alongs, and that can help you on your shirt making journey. The shirts are great. They're so versatile. They're one of the most popular things in my wardrobe. I love a good shirt dress as well, and that is throughout winter and summer. I think you can dress them up really wonderfully. You can cinch them in with a belt if you're wanting something a bit dressier. They can also take you from summer to winter. Don't forget, they're perfect for a popover if you're wanting something to wear over the top of bathers at the beach, or for winter. They're wonderful to be made in a heavier kind of fabric, to be made into a shacket, which is a very versatile garment if you prefer not to wear a coat. So I'm going to take you through some of my favorite shirt patterns in the wardrobe, and then I'm going to talk you through some pattern suggestions that I have, and finally I'm going to let you know about the 2 shirts that I am preparing to make for my next makes on the cutting table. Pattern I'm wearing, I mentioned in the fabric video the other day, and this is the Ocean Dazed oversized shirt from Pattern Emporium. I've made it in a beautiful cotton viscose fabric with a nice brushed effect. It's a really nice oversized pattern if you're wanting something really relaxed with a lot of ease throughout it. It has the drop shoulders, and you also have the option to make either the collar and collar stand or the plain collar, which is kind of like essentially a camp style collar. I would say, I don't know if a plain collar is actually easier to prepare. Some people could argue that, but once you've made a collar and collar stand, it's quite a simple set of instructions to follow through, and it really is a matter of perfectly matching things like your notches in the right spots, following along with, your under collar, your outer collar, with things like interfacing, knowing which is the right one. So I tend to use a lot of wonder clips when I'm putting my collars together, little hints and tips there, and also things like cutting your curves, snipping your curves to get the right fit. Usually I would say it's due to not marking notches properly, because you need to be able to line up your notches with your center back and things like your shoulder seams, and then it will all come together really perfectly. And don't forget things like when you're sewing around your collar edges, to leave enough of a seam allowance so that you can actually clip the corners of your points of the collar so that they get really nice and crisp and nice points there. Things like clipping those corners are great. If you're wanting a fantastic tutorial, I would say Pattern Emporium would be the ants pants as far as instructions go for simple for beginners making shirt patterns. The Jenna that I'll talk about later is, I would say, more of the couture style sewing. There's a lot of really good techniques there that I hadn't used before. I would say the Jenna has taught me quite a lot. But things like burrito method with your yokes and collar making, I would advise you to have a look at Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. Karina has some beautiful sew-alongs that are so well planned out, really nicely filmed, and you can follow along with her steps and tips. So I'll try and link in the comments here below some great videos that she has explained about collar and shirt making. But really, you can learn so much for following a sew-along if you get a bit stuck with instructions. And not all instructions are made equal. I would say some pattern making instructions are better explained than others, and also things like your visuals. I really love a good photo visual. I know not everyone can do that. Sometimes instruction booklets will have great instruction graphics, but to have a picture, the way that Kate does it, it really helps me differentiate. You know, I can read instructions till I'm blue in the face, but to see it visually done and watch a sew along as well, it really does help navigate kind of, especially if you're new to sewing. It can seem very daunting, but it really is a wonderful thing to make. And don't forget, if you are one of those people that doesn't like doing buttonholes, you prefer things like snaps, they are great to use in place of buttons. Snaps, I do have the Verio pliers coming back in stock hopefully next couple of weeks, but things like the press stud snaps, I'll also be getting the metallic and pearlized snaps, because as soon as I saw this fabric I thought it would look wonderful with the little metallic snaps, and they're really easy to do as well. But really, don't be scared of buttonholes. I think the main thing is if your machine can handle a buttonhole, it's a matter of practicing on scraps. And look, I'm very lucky. I've got the new Benina has the most wonderful buttonhole foot and does buttons beautifully. In the past, I've had machines that haven't been so great for doing buttonholes, and it's really a matter of trial and error. But if you've got a good little buttonhole chisel that can help perforate the hole, and things like the there is a fray stop glue that you can put on the buttonholes as well to stop the thread coming apart. So there's so many hints and tips there to help your shirt making job go a lot more smoothly. I really love the buttonhole side of things. It used to be one of the things I hated the most, and now I really love doing a good buttonhole. I think it's due to the nice machine I'm using now, but having that ability to add a beautiful button to really add a statement to the garment really does make it all worthwhile at the end. It's kind of like putting the icing on the cake, in my opinion. And don't forget, if you are not wanting to do things like cuffs and plackets, if they seem a bit too daunting, you can do what I've done here and just extend the sleeve. And I usually double the edge of the sleeve underneath, top stitch it, and then I can fold it up. That way it is a lot easier and a lot quicker, because plackets are quite a lot more involved, but very rewarding once you've made a good placket and finished it off beautifully. Things like your erasable sewing pens and chalk really does help a lot too with marking out things for plackets and using a lot of pins. A lot of people use fabric glue sticks to help them arrange a placket before they stitch and sew it on. That's another really great tip. But yeah, I really do love adding a nice button. This one I've got on today is a Pigeon Wishes button. I'll show you up close. I love the Pigeon Wishes with all the colours. You can really add you can find a colour within the button to add to just about any print to bring out, to match some colours in there. They really are lovely, and you do get quite a lot in the pack. These are the 15mm ones, but on a shirt I think you can add anything up to like around a 20mm button if you're wanting a nice statement, and you can go down to a 9mm button, the smallest, I would say. So I'm going to get cracking here on the shirts that I've made in the past. I've spoken about the Ocean Daze oversized shirt. Don't forget, you can also do the curved tail hem or the straight tail hem. I like to add a side split on mine, and mine are about 15 centimeters long, and that's a really good method if you like a bit of ease of movement within a shirt. Now this one I made last year, this is a shacket, so this is a bit heavier weight. It's a midweight kind of a wool check, and this is a style arc Logan shacket. I would say with one thing, I was worn with the Logan shacket collar, it comes up a little bit small, so I actually made it a little bit longer at the tips, just in case I had to size it back, and I didn't have to really cut that much off it. I didn't really have any issues with making the shacket at all. It has a really nice kind of a V yoke at the back, or curved V yoke. You've got your nice wide cuffs on the bottom. I put a nice Pigeon Wishes chunky button on that one. And yeah, having the pockets on the front really add a bit of detail, but it's a perfect kind of throw over weight to popping over a sweater if you're not wanting to wear a coat or heavy jacket. Shackets can be really practical. So the Logan is one that I have loved wearing last winter. Another favourite of mine is the Pattern Emporium All-in Easy Fit shirt. It's a very different shirt to the Oversized Ocean Daze. The Oversized has got the drop shoulder and it's a lot more ease throughout the body and around the back, and it's quite a lot longer, and I really love it. I think it's one of my most favourite sewing patterns ever. But the All-in Easy Fit shirt is a great one if you're wanting a bit more fitted to the body, if you're wanting more of the shoulder in line, so not the drop shoulder. It has the same options with the collar, with the plain collar or the collar and collar stand. And you can also, having the regular shoulder seam, you can add different sleeves. You can mix and match sleeves. So that one I've added on the Meet You There sleeve. I think you can also add the balloon sleeve, the Be Mine balloon sleeve. That lovely billowy sleeve would be a great one to add to this shirt pattern if you're wanting something a bit more billowy. That one I've made in a beautiful Cosette fabric, and I have worn that to death. The only thing is, I kind of always wish when I make short sleeve shirts, I wish that I'd lengthen the sleeve to wear it all year round. That's one good thing about having a long sleeve shirt. You can roll them up and wear them all year round, whereas a short sleeve one, you kind of can't fix it once it's too short. You can't lengthen it. So, but I really love that shirt pattern. It's I popped a little blue button on there. I'll put some pics up so you can see me in that one. It's a really nice viscose fabric, and I think that it's a great building block. I've also got a dress I've made in the lengthened All-in Easy Fit. I'll put some pics up. That was in a Dashwood Studios rayon, and the beauty of that shirt is that it's not too oversized, so you can lengthen it into a shirt dress and make a nice tie belt, and add a pair of sandals or heels, and you can even lengthen the sleeve to a long sleeve, have it for a winter shirt dress as well. So a really, really practical pattern with a bit more fitted throughout the body. I've also made it in this Dashwood Studios fabric, and this one I wear open over a singlet top, but this one I made a little bit neater and a little bit shorter throughout the body, so it's not one I wear a lot. I really always regret not oversizing them more, because I think if they're a bit more oversized, I could tie them at the front, where when they're more fitted, they really need to be kind of tucked in, I feel. But they're great if you're wanting a business style blouse or shirt to wear to the office. Oh, before I forget, this one I've got on the Ocean Daze oversized shirt. I made that last year in a beautiful Atelier jupe fabric. Now I made that one with the cuff, without the cuff I should say, with the elastic cuffing around the bottom, and kind of made the sleeve a bit more billowy. So I just drafted that sleeve from the shoulder down and made it more of a balloon style. But that one's got the plain collar. This fabric, I'll be getting more of this in. I was very lucky to get a last batch of this from Atelier Jupe that will be coming sometime in May. So if you love that fabric, which is just a favourite of mine, it's really unusual. It's kind of Matisse inspired, I would say, but the colours in that are beautiful. Sort of etching throughout it with the golds and the blues and navies and the dark black background. I think it's a black. It's really hard to tell if it's navy or black sometimes. But that one I've worn. This would be my most worn shirt. All last autumn, winter, spring, I virtually lived in this shirt. It's a really nice one for dressing up or down as well, or for just wearing with a pair of boots and jeggings, which I'll wear quite a bit. So it's just interesting to see the different look of the same pattern in, you know, a casual check or a really nice viscose. But yeah, think about things like a nice silky viscose as well, or a nice satin. Even a pure silk, Italian silk would be beautiful in this pattern and really nice and floaty. So that's the other pattern, Emporium Ocean Daze. Now the Iron Patterns have got a fabulous range of patterns for shirt making. If you're wanting a simple one with a simple collar with no collar stand, but you don't want the camp style collar, the I Am pattern, I'm going to put the name of it, I've totally forgotten the name of it. That is a fabulous pattern, really, really easy to make, very simple as well. And I've made that in a really floaty viscose chalet lawn from Lady McElroy. That's a symbolic of cool fabric. And whenever I wear this, I get comments. This fabric's a real great one to showcase. So a nice simple shirt pattern, but very beginner friendly as well. And they also have a new pattern pack out called the I Am Marty, and I think that's got something like 400 options to make different shirts, shirt dresses, you know, collars, no collars. Yeah, there's heaps of options with that one. I wouldn't mind making the I Am Marty in a shirt or shirt dress next as well. So that's a fabulous little pattern too. Now this one is from an Aussie designer called Marsha Style. It's the Aaliyah shirt, and she did a collab with a German pattern maker, which I've totally forgotten the name. I'll put the pattern up here so you can see. It's one that has so many options as well for shirts or shirt dresses. We actually featured this in our second bespoke box in 2022 for the Harvest Moon box, and we use this beautiful cotton check, which was very, very popular, and I must admit I've worn this so much. I love the angled style flap pocket. You can put one or two on. You can also add the collar or leave the collar off, but it has plenty of options for different sleeves and sleeve styles as well. But that also is a fabulous little pattern. If you haven't checked out Marsha Styles patterns, Marsha is from, I think from memory, from Brisbane, and she has some fabulous patterns in her pattern catalogue there. So that is a wonderful one. That is called the Aaliyah shirt or shirt dress. And of course, who could forget the Jenna? That was the first one I made of the Jenna. I absolutely loved the technique involved. I must say it was a real learning curve for me. A lot of the intricate and different little details, a lot of top stitching. It's not for the faint-hearted. Of course, if you are a beginner sewist, I would advise really taking it slowly with this pattern, but definitely there is no reason why a beginner or intermediate sewist couldn't take this shirt pattern on, but just beware that there is quite a few steps that I think that they could be a bit daunting for a newbie sewist. So things like your plackets is one thing that takes it's a bit challenging for a newbie sewist. And the collar technique, which I haven't ever made a collar like that before. And I've got to say, it is one of the neatest looking collar stands I've ever done. I was really thrilled how it came up. And also the burrito method with the top stitching along the back, it really gives you that nice little kind of couture shirt making. Look, I think there are so many techniques I would say that are like more old-fashioned style techniques that maybe we don't do so much anymore with shirt making, but there are so many methods that I think have carried throughout, and people that have made shirts in the past, especially things like men's tailored business shirts, will know all of these methods are carried throughout most patterns these days. So I really love the way the Jenna came up. I love the fit of it. I really love the more tailored effect, but having a long line with a curved hem. I definitely want to make the Jenna shirt dress next time, and I want to make the fabric with a fabric godmother print, the shadow viscose, I think it is. I'm going to put a pic up so you can see. That's a shirt dress I have definitely got on my list to make, but love the shirt dress, love the features that the Jenna has and the options that it gives you for the shirt or the dress. Next on my make list, I want to make the beautiful new pattern from Cosette, which is the Daze shirt. I really love the effect with the placket, the pleating down the front. I want to make it with pearlized or mother of pearl snaps, and this is the fabric I want to make it in. It is the beautiful Cosette Disco Checks viscose. It is so lovely. It reminds me of kind of the 70s Miller shirt style, especially with that gold thread throughout it. It's going to be a lovely one to wear. I think a little bit more dressy, but that's definitely one that is right up my alley with all the colours. That fabric is still available in store, but I love that I can see it on the model that they've got on the pattern envelope for the Daze. So I'll know exactly what it looks like, the scale of the print on the body. And of course, don't forget when you've got checks, you've got to make sure you try and pattern match as best as possible. Especially make sure when you're cutting it out that you're cutting it out matched up. That's the tip. Don't try and pattern match once it's already been cut and you've cut it off center. Make sure you're cutting it pattern matched flat already so that you know that your placket, especially along the front, is going to line up perfectly. So that's just a little tip there. So that is one I want to make, the Daze in that beautiful Cosette fabric. I think it'll look incredible with a little snap pearl metal button. And the other one I spoke about recently was the Pimpant blouse from Lise Taylor. And this is in that beautiful Eglantine Ed Zoe viscose twill. And that is more of a dressier style, blouse style shirt. So I think for me, I've shown you shirts that I've got with collars and sleeves. I have so many blouses that I would class as more of a blouse that don't have the typical shirt collar placket, yoke feature. So otherwise I would be here all day showing you all my blouses because I do have a lot of blouses. So these are all the shirts, and I'm going to talk through some shirt pattern picks that I found that I think you're going to love. If you're wanting a more of a tailored style shirt with that kind of Miller effect, I think the Experimental Space Hayley is a great one. You've got lots of different options there for sleeves, a nice little flutter sleeve or a longer sleeve option. She's got a really unusual detail along the yoke too, so that's one that I've been looking at for quite some time. Another one that I haven't made yet is definitely on the list is the Italia Jupe Esti blouse, and that looked amazing in that black and white monochrome print they had out. But it's got some beautiful little features. I think Italia Jupe patterns come up beautiful on the body once they're sewn up, and I know that Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door has made up some Estes before in the past, so I'm not sure if she has a sew along for the Estie, but I will have to check that out because it is a fabulous pattern, maybe a bit more on the dressier side of a shirt pattern. The Tessuti Innes is another shirt that we do have in store that's got some lovely features, some lovely style lines, and that nice high button neck and simple collar. And it looks gorgeous showcasing something like a seersucker or a plaid or tartan or check, or even just a really nice cotton and linen. That's one I wanted to make for many years now and haven't got around to making. The one I've been eyeing off lately is from Sew Liberated Patterns, and it's called the Joni. Now, I really like the features in the Joni. You've got options for the camp style collar, but there's also a really unusual shawl style collar. They've kind of talked about this pattern being a 50s inspired fit. You've got darts, or should I say princess seams along the back to give you a bit more of a fit towards the body. If you don't like a lot of ease and you want more shaping, the Joni could be the one for you. It's got a really, really lovely style button in the front. You can have it in a long line, or you can have it in the cropped or short, or like an open long line duster style. So I really love the look of the Joni. I would definitely like to see it made up. That could be one that'll be next on my list after I finish with these ones. One that I've noticed has been very popular in store as far as A0 printing is the Maker's Italia shirt. It is a very simple kind of boxy style shirt, but at the yoke at the back that you've got the options for not only having a gathered effect for the ease throughout the body, but there's also the effect that you can do with pleating along the body of the shirt, which is really unusual, and I think it would look beautiful in something like a viscose, a crepe, a silk, or even a cotton or linen. So that's a really smart shirt. And I must say that the Makers Italia have some beautiful shirts, patterns. There's boxy style shirts, there's relaxed shirts. You've got just about any kind of shirt that you're after, a dressier style shirt. And I absolutely love the way they've showcased them on a lot of more mature models, but in very simple fabrics that the patterns can really stand out. I think they've done a wonderful job with the marketing of these patterns, and it's definitely a pattern company that has gained my interest, and there's quite a few patterns I'm dying to make. Now, if you're wanting a fitted shirt to the body, more fitted throughout the waist, think about the Dirando Bruyere shirt, which has a really nice lot of shaping and darts throughout the body and that lovely little kick-out waist, quite long line. It has so many interesting details to that pattern. And you will have noticed that now Closet Core have taken over Deer & Doe patterns. The owners of Deer & Doe have decided to scale back. You'll find their whole pattern catalogue of Deer & Doe patterns on the Closet Core site, which is fantastic that they've kind of saved the day there and taken over so many beautiful patterns. We have loved making Deer & Doe patterns in the past. And for Frocktails last year, Phoebe and I both made a Deer & Doe pattern each, which we absolutely love. Their patterns are just so beautiful to wear and to make. Their designs are gorgeous. So that's fabulous that they've managed to take over from Closet Core patterns to Deer & Doe and combine them kind of so that there's a split on the website. You can see a bit of both there. Helen's Closet have the unisex pattern called the Cameron shirt. If you're wanting a nice basic, very simple shirt style pattern, you can't go wrong there. The Cameron looks like it would be a really nice simple pattern. They've also got the Gilbert shirt if you're wanting a more cropped style, short sleeve or long sleeve. You can make it with that bell sleeve and that tie at the waist, or just a simple straight waist there. And I've made I haven't brought it out here, but I have made the Gilbert shirt a couple of times in the past, and it's a really nice little neat shirt, especially for wearing with a high-waisted pair of pants. There's also some fantastic shirt patterns over at Itch to Stitch. They've got the Montana shirt, which is a fabulous one for making in a beautiful check. They've also got the the Sonara shirt, which I made in December with a short sleeve. It's a really nice, simple fit shirt as well. And also the Love Notions shirt. Now, I think that I've totally forgotten the name. Put some pics up so you can see, has lots of options as well. A very simple shirt or shirt dress. So you can see there's heaps and heaps of inspiration there for getting some shirt making done. It really does depend on the look you're after, the amount of ease you want, whether you want it nice and floaty and nice and roomy, or you want it more tailored. There is a shirt pattern there for just about every sewist, I'm sure, and I absolutely love making the ones I've got, and I have plans for many, many more. I would love to hear in the comments below what your favourite shirt patterns are, ones that you've made over the years. Maybe you've got a big 4 shirt pattern that you could recommend that you've really enjoyed making. I've just included the indie patterns that I've made here before because I really enjoy making indie patterns. But if you've got a pattern recommendation, make sure you write it in the comments below so everyone can see. If you've enjoyed this episode, a thumbs up would be appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would also love it if you could do that. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you all soon, and bye for now.